Hello, Mrs. Shane here, and I'm going to show you how to set up your paper so you'll be ready to do your sketch notes during our reading lesson today. You want to start by putting title at the top of your paper because that's where you're going to write the title of the book that your teacher reads. And then I divide my paper into 4 great big squares. And once I have those 4 great big squares, the very first square I divide in half. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. In the very first section, you want to write setting. Now remember, if you watch the vocabulary video, setting is where it's going down. It's the location. It can be the time, the past, the present, the future. So in setting, you can draw, you can doodle, you can sketch, anything that you think about in your mind when your teacher is reading that relates to the setting. For example, when we were doing when the beat was born, there was 2 different settings. There was a setting in Jamaica where it was warm, and then there was a setting in New York City where it was cold. So some of my students would draw the sun and write, the best they could write Jamaica, and then some of them would put a snowflake for New York. The next you want to put characters. The characters are who is in the story, or sometimes characters can be either people, they can be things, they can be animals, and they are who is carrying out the action, the ones that are doing what is happening in the story. So characters, you want to focus on the main characters. On the last time when we did the books, the main character was Clive when the beat was born, and some of my students would write his name. Some people would draw him and put little musical notes because he loved music. So you can also include things of like personality traits about the characters, or things that they did, or things that they like. You can include that in your little sketch notes right here for characters. And the next is plot. So the video said for plot, it's what's going down. So plot is the action that is happening in the story. And what helps me when I'm doing plot is to remember that a story has a beginning, middle, and end. So this may also help you to put a B, M, and E inside your graphic organizer so that you can sketch some things that happened at the beginning of the story, some things that happened at the middle, and some things that happened at the end. Some of my students last time when they did for our book, Clive was at a house party. Well, he wanted to go to the house party, but he couldn't. So some people kind of drew him standing outside the little house, trying to look in, wanting to go to the party. Some people, for the end, they had those great big speakers that they drew to show that he had gotten, remember he got the speakers, and that's how he really got his start as a DJ. So the next part is conflict. So conflict is a problem that is in the story. It could be a struggle that the character's going through. It could be obstacles that the character has to overcome in order to reach a goal. So conflict isn't always like a fight or something like that. Conflict is often, like I said, something that the character has to overcome. So if you remember in when the beat was born, Clive, he first got those speakers, they wouldn't work right, so he had to keep working with those, getting those to work, and also he wanted people to come to his party, and hear his music, and he did that by reaching out. He had to keep working hard. So in that story, his conflict was he had to overcome obstacles to become a DJ. And then the next is theme. Theme is the underlining the overall message in a story. What is this story trying to teach us? I often try to think of theme as it's like the cream inside of a cupcake. Have you ever had those Hostess cupcakes, the chocolate ones that have the yummy cream in the middle? Theme is kind of like you got to find it. You got to read between the lines and think, what is this story trying to teach me? So when it comes to when the beat was born, we talked about how he never gave up on his dream. He worked hard. He kept going. Any obstacles, they hand wrote those little cards, those invitations. So a theme for when the beat was born could be keep working hard, never give up on your dream. Work hard pays off. Those are some possible themes for When the Beat Was Born. The thing about theme is a story may have more than one theme. As long as you can back that theme up with evidence from the story, then your theme is correct. So this is how your paper should be set up and ready when you come to our reading lesson today. Can't wait to see you all there.